Hey guys, Scout2C back with another video, just following on from the end of our previous session. For a morning pool, the pool's actually pretty decent. Also going to try and get on a 1K table, but I'm going to leave that off screen. First on the list for a 1K table, so we'll see if we can potentially get some 1K action. Going to be cold 3 betting. It feels like almost a cold 4 bet. Going to size down because of this guy's stack size. This mixes some 3 bets, which we actually roll. And at 125 deep, we actually size up to 11. Taking it down with the jacks, which is actually the preferred outcome there. And I'm going to start with a small bet here. This could be a spot we actually want to go more polar. Yeah, I think I'll check this one. It could be that we want to be using half or 2/3 on that board. My intuition's telling me half. Half pot's probably the right size. I'm actually going to flat jacks. This guy hasn't 3-bet in 220 hands. Like, I know this might seem crazy, but I'm just going to flat. I'm actually worried. I'm so worried. Oh my god. Cool jacks versus a min 3-bet flopper set, and I'm worried I'm set oversetted. Oh, let's see what happens. This could be a fun hand on the right. Oh god. I've got such a bad feeling. Oh god, this is a fun spot. This is a fun spot. Oh, I'm getting stacked, aren't I? I'm getting bloody stacked by aces. Oh, that's queen. What's going on? What is going on? It must have been a misclick pre and just like 6x spot jams turn. At that point, I'm like, well, it can't be aces now. Like, why would aces jam the turn? Scared of the royal flush draws. I mean, to be fair, 2 royal flush draws out there, I'd be scared of my aces too. With a light blue tag, I'm gonna come along. This hand would typically be really bad to be overcalling here. Plays very poorly multi-way and is typically dominated by this flatting range, which is probably still true given this guy's stats. Not quite sure how he's gotten this tag, but usually it's deserved. So I'm sure he's done something very, very crazy in the past. Yeah, I think that must have been a misclick. Yeah, I mean, you get aces once every 220 hands, and that guy hadn't 3-bet in 220 hands. So I was genuinely worried that his 3-bet range was purely aces. But I think he just misclicked. Going to be pure flatting the checks. Do I ever mix jam? Maybe I'm going to mix like a tiny bit of jam, but I don't think it makes too big of a difference. Interesting flop. Very good for our range. I'd expect a lot of checks out of him. Or he can potentially like bet 6 blinds here with a lot of his range. But I think a lot of checks too. And I think... I'm really conflicted about whether my hand wants to stab or check back. Gonna stab sometimes. And if he jams, we have to sigh and call off. Let's say we typically have in the high 30s, high 30% when it comes to Exploitative. Oh, this is uncomfortable. I don't mind jamming. I think I like jam the most. Yeah. I don't think we're allowed to fold. Okay, that's fine actually. Nice hand, nice hand. What's our equity there? About 30? It's not going to tell me. I'd assume about 30. At which point we're almost priced in. If I was going to flick in some 3-bets. Not this time. Yeah, I think we have about 30 there. I'm just treating his small raise there as if it were a jam. Like, I don't want to kind of get... I feel like it'd be easy to get into kind of a leveling war where he does that with ace king, like with a club, trying to, or like just like ace queen with a club, trying to kind of maximize fold equity by making it kind of seem like his range is super strong. Like, I don't think that's the case. I'm not articulating my thoughts very well here. I think he's trying to make his range look like super strong, like and really invulnerable. Gonna mix this about this time using 2/3 or check on this texture. But I think in reality it's not. We just have to go with our hand. I don't mind call on the flop, but it puts us in some pretty horrible turn spots. I think I just prefer jamming the flop. This actually makes it 3-bets. Not on a 42 though. And almost never going to bluff this one if I... No, I think I'm just using 3/4 or check. I'm not going to split here. Just going to use 3/4 or check. And betting this hand next to never. This is almost a board I'd use block or overbet, but it's just not quite the board for that, I don't think. A pretty nice hand to go for a c-bet. Can use half or check on this board. Yeah, I think when he does that, his range is actually more over pairs without a club than it is over pairs with a club. And then also hands like ace king, ace queen offsuit with a club. That's my perception of it in any case. I could be wrong. He could be putting his kings with a club in there. But my perception is that he isn't. And I just don't think our hand's allowed to get away. Not going to open this when this guy's playing so many hands. And I think just pure squeezing, going small because of... No, I'm not. I'm not, because I'm never ever going to 3-bet fold to his stack, like even if I go small, so I may as well go big. Unfortunately, the recreational busted the 1k. And calling off. That's when I flip. Feeling good about this one. Not feeling good about this one. So yeah, if he had no, ignore that train of thought. Eights is going to against cutoff. Yeah, it still mixes. I think on a 60 we do 3-bet. I would fold to MP on a 60 roll, but I don't think we fold to cutoff on a 60 roll. I could be wrong though. And I think we mix against 4-bet. Gonna fold this time. Do I fold this? Oh, yeah, he's really not 4-betting much at all. High frequency raise. And gonna call on this roll. Don't think our hand can fold. Could be wrong though. I think our hand's actually strong enough to block. I think it's gonna mix between block and check call. I'm just gonna fold against the raise. It's a very polarizing raise size. I'm just gonna fold. So against a guy playing 46-5, I'm actually going to go for a limp or 4x in the small blind. And I think this hand could do either. I think I prefer limp. Gonna go for the range bet on this board. So in theory, I should be range checking against a recreational who looks kind of out of control. I actually prefer small bet. This will mostly 3-bet, especially at 200 rate. This 3-bet's way more at 200 than it does at like 1k. With a guy who's especially tight in the big blind, I'm going to open this. Seems like a weak road. Gonna use half pot check, betting this hand mostly. And given this guy's range is way tighter than it should be, or at least that's what we're expecting given his stats, I'm just going to give this one up. So it's like we're exploiting him pre-flop by opening wider, but then when it goes post-flop, we have to be extremely careful because our range is wider than it should be, and his range is tighter than it should be. So he just has a massive advantage. And I'm just going to check again here and potentially bluff rivers. I think we're going to have some leads here. I think I'm going to like lead this card super often, but tiny. I think I'm going to bluff the river. Try and fold out ace high, jack high. No, I'm just going to use the sizing to do that. I don't think this guy's good enough to adjust. I mean, this is the size I'd use with like eights anyway, potentially. Yeah, I think we're potentially meant to range lead this turn for like super small. He's really not meant to be stabbing ace high there for small. And we're meant to check call a bunch of ace high, especially versus sizing. Ace 8 gonna mix, rolling cool this time. On the right, I'm just gonna pure check. I'm not gonna range bet this one. I'm gonna be pure checking the ace 8. And pure checking the queen 5. And if he bets, I really don't mind bluffing this one some of the time actually. I think it's a really nice bluff. Am I going to do it on an 89? Am I ever folding? Oh, I want more time bank. I'm actually going to call on this roll, expecting to lose a bunch. I wish I had more time bank there. I don't know if our hand's ever allowed to fold. It probably is. No, it probably isn't. And then I definitely think it's one of our best raise candidates on the river. Just checking down our ace 8. Yeah, I don't think we're ever allowed to fold river. Could be wrong. It could be a mix. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think how often I'd raise this one. It's really hard to to get your frequencies right. And I also don't think we get much credit for Queen Jack, given how often that hand's going to barrel or bet the turn. But I still think this hand, like, I'm still gonna raise this hand sometimes. And like, especially against small, we don't necessarily have to rep Queen Jack exclusively. Like, we're raising 2 pair, we're even raising, like, we're probably gonna raise. I'm gonna reset time back here. I think I really like this one as double check back, actually. Yeah. Just gonna double check this one. And 4 betting tens. And value betting river here. Yeah, I really don't know what frequency I'm gonna raise. It's really hard to control bluffing frequencies there. But I think this hand's just about the best one we have. Gonna stab this super occasionally. Using half pot check on this board. Flipping a set. Was wondering why that's set up. Need to reset time back. And that's no fun when you flop bottom set. And they just fold. Gonna ISO pretty loose there. This actually makes this a 3-bet. I think I'm going to bet specifically ace-9. Usually I like a big size, but I'm actually going to just exploitatively go for small. Just try and get thin. Like, just do what my hand wants to do. Going to stab this occasionally. It's close on a 43, going to check. I'm actually going to bet small again. Like, this is not GTO approved. This is just me trying to milk the fish and get cheap showdown with a 9. Oh no, I want to buy better river. It just doesn't feel like he has many flushes. This is thin. This is very, very, very thin. If you're trying to learn how to play, don't just ignore that hand. That hand is very, very un-GTO approved. Played that hand just about as exploitatively as you can possibly play a hand. This actually 3-bets a lot, but we don't roll it. And I think this hand raises like 10% of the time. Calling this time. When our kicker doesn't play, we just go small. It's 3-bet sometimes. I think this hand raises flop against small a bit, not too often. It's really easy to go way overboard, raising small c-bets in these spots. And I think we'll stab sometimes. Definitely not on a 77. Expect him to bet a lot once he checks flop. Don't think. Maybe it's like a tiny bit 3-bet. So in theory, we're meant to occasionally 3-bet this hand and do a lot of folding, but against a nit, I'm just going to pure fold. Eights is a mix, folding this time. Three and queens. And gonna start with a range bet. Go bet small on the turn. He absolutely snap called flop, so I'm taking a lot of king X out of his range. Weighting him much more towards pocket pairs. Against which our queens really just want to bet small. And get min 3-bet by this guy again. Let's see if it's as interesting as the last one. It could be on a queen. Turn was a queen last time, right? Turn was a queen last time. Not this time. Ugh. I don't think we are meant to actually bluff this one. Yeah, no, I don't think we're meant to bluff this combo. And I really don't want to bluff into this guy's range. Even though we did see Queen 9 off time and we somehow win. Oh my. Okay, so we need to take a note. Okay. Thanks to see Queen X. Question mark? I think with the ace of hearts, our hand will actually do some betting on the turn. I think I just want to use half pot. And the ace of hearts, we're definitely going to give up the river. We get the aces in the big blind. $130 deep. I'm actually going to size up quite a large size with my 3-bet range. It's not just because I have aces. My whole 3-bet range, I'm using that size when we're 130 deep. Definitely think we have to continue king queen at frequency. On a 38 I will. And we now definitely have to bluff this river. If check 2. We can't use huge sizings. I think I will go half pot if check 2. But it's very hard for me not to have anything on this river. This is the reason we need floats on king high. I'm not checking range here. I think this hand will bet sometimes. On turn, I probably am checking range. I just need to check call. And I think I am meant to lead river. I think for small. Ooh. Spicy. I think this is a fold. How many 10? He shouldn't really bet many 10 of spades combos on the turn unless he already has the flush. But I still just think this is never a bluff. He shouldn't bet many 10x or 5x of spades on the turn unless he already has it. Like, unless he already has the flush. I'm going to make a tight fold here. I just don't see people bluffing. I don't see people ever going that big with the king. Like, maybe if he made it 12 bigs, he could do that with value with the king of spades. But I think when he goes 16, that kind of goes out the window a bit. Does this ever 3-bet? Maybe very low frequency. Interesting. Gonna have some leads on this flop, and I roll it. The worse my kicker with the nut flush, the happier I am to bet it. And unfortunate to get the fold. This pool seems pretty horrible now. Yeah, it's really bad. Also losing a bit of focus. I recorded a session straight before this, just back to back, so I think gonna sit out next big blind and call it a bid. I think we're down probably a couple buy-ins at least this session. I feel like our red line's going to be horrible as well. With, yeah, I think it's not going to be a good red line session. But let's wait and see. Using big bet or check on this board with the jack of spades. Don't think I want to bet this hand very much whatsoever. Maybe 10% of the time. Easy continue. And I think we want to have a fair few leads on this card. Gonna find it. on a 29. Taking it down. Okay, how did we do? I don't think too well. Oh, we're only down one buy-in, and we're only down $30 in EV. So, and my red line's even positive. Okay, session didn't. It felt worse than it was. Maybe that session. Probably that. Yeah, just that Jacks versus Queen Nine offsuit hand kind of saved us. Um. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to be pretty much break even in EV. For that session. Felt like I was getting beaten up a bit. Cool. Cheers for watching, guys. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.